Shout out to you. I was just in the middle of some crazy trades, and the trades were pumping out of control. I had to take some profits here. And let's see. I apologize for this, but I'm in the middle of a trade on KKEX. And it was up 280, but now I want to get out at 220 right now. I was up 380 a second ago, but I had to be in the stream. All right, this trade's up 176 on BitTinex. Trade's up 82 in a flag on weeks, but it was up 144. Let's see if we can stay inside this flag. I like this flag here for Bitcoin. All right, and I already made a beautiful trade earlier today. I made about $2,300. Actually, I made about $6,000 today trading, which was amazing. And I'm going to show you how I did it and why. And we're going to have some fun, not just brag about it, but show you how we did it on a Sunday. One of my bigger Sunday wins, honestly. $6,000 on a Sunday, pretty awesome. Shout out to everybody here on the live. Shout out to anyone that jumped on in the trading group and went to CryptoLifer.com today. We appreciate you, and we thank you so much. If you want to know more, go to CryptoLifer.com. Subscribe to the monthly, the quarterly, or the annual subscription to the Discord. It's amazing. I'm there every single day, giving you guys the sauce all the time, having some fun. So if you like that and you're obsessed like me and you want to make gains every single day, like you desire gains every day, and you go after it and you want to be around people like that, then I believe the group is the place for you. So right off the bat, before we do anything, Bitcoin's in this flag. And it's looking like it could get busy and probably go for more. And the measured move would take you somewhere at about $118,000 for BTC. So it looks like we could get a nice pump here to the upside for Bitcoin, but only time will tell. And so far, it looks so good. Let's break down the bigger time frames and do our top-down analysis for BTC. We'll start with the monthly candle, and we'll have some fun and break it down like we do, and then we'll do the weekly candle glow. No, your computer's not broken. Oh. Let's take a look at Bitcoin and the monthly candle. So, as I said before, Bitcoin could be making a beautiful bull flag here on the monthly and getting ready to break out. And it could even close the candle with a beautiful pumptober, and it could still be the biggest candle in history on the close if it could kind of come and eat this wick to the upside. Measured move takes it somewhere to about $160,000 Bitcoin by May 1st, if we break out as such. You can also look at it as it's the rising wedge that wants to break out. And I believe there's just a little more juice there. If we break out like that, it could put you somewhere at about $187,000 by March 1st. Would be an amazing Christmas present there, right? So could we get this amazing continuation to the upside? So far, so good for Bitcoin. The monthly is green, and we'll take it. With all the shenanigans, the monthly stays green. 2-week chart just closed indecision, but green. And in my mind, that's still inside of a bull pennant there, or an ascending triangle. See that? So the 2-week chart still looks amazing, with a move to about $137,000 on the board for BTC. And then let's take a look at the weekly now. And so for me, the weekly is like this. 1, 2, and it closed back inside the pattern and showing signs of the weekly possibly getting a bounce back to the upside. Can we get the weekly tweezer bottom here for the bounce back to the upside? It looks like we're likely going to get the bounce, but let's see for sure. 5-day looks interesting. 3-day looks good. The daily today closed an awesome, beautiful engulfing candle. Let's talk about how I was able to call a move today. If you watched my channel this morning, I called along on the 5-minute time frame and ended up playing out absolutely beautifully. I did not get stopped out. It got close, but it played out, and I was able to take some gains even at the beginning of the day. It was crazy. Before like 12 o'clock, I already had made about 6,000. So 2,000 lev, 4,000 spot, and it was an amazing day. Things that I didn't even think would happen, but I wake up every day just pushing forward every day and believe that something good could happen. I also prayed on the live stream. We had just a more concentrated, more focused prayer than normal. And I don't know. Next thing you know, I remembered, man, I did pray and had an amazing day. So thank you, dear Lord, for everything you've given me. Thank you for the ability to pray on stream. Thank you for the ability to have an amazing stream this morning and carry that over to today. So blessed and thankful. Amen. So here we go. Resistance. Some resistance here at 117 and up there at 124,000, but it ain't too shabby, is it? And there's still a lot of liquidity down here. It says at 103 and 105. Does that mean we have to go there? No. And we got big red up there at 123 and 126. So could we go all the way up there and crush the shorts? We could. And it could go either way. There still is more liquidity to the downside, though, right now on BOOKMAP. So for whatever reason, it does suggest that we do go lower. But that's just what BOOKMAP says. There's no guarantees that that's what's going to happen. All right. Sorry, that's just my desktop. It flashed for whatever reason. So today I was able to call along. We're going to zoom in and show you how and why. 12 hour attempting to get back above the 200 moving average. The 4 hour attempting to get above the 200. That's usually when you get a bit of a rejection at the 4 hour 200. The 1 hour headed hopefully back to the 200 moving average. And kind of this is what we're looking at here. This is the model that we trade. And we saw this earlier today. And I said to watch it on the 15. And we eventually did. We're here kind of where we talked about would be the next big trade. So earlier today, and even yesterday, we kind of said, could it be an inverted head and shoulder that we get? And it kind of slipped, but we got this Adam and Eve double bottom, sorry. And then we made this flag. And I'll show you the flag if we go to the 5-minute time frame. So earlier today, when I woke up today, the first thing I saw was this. And I like to trade flags above the 200 with the 21 touching. I said, man, that looks like it could boom. And the measured move was to about 114,915K. And so I went in with a stop below the wick and we pumped. And somewhere into here, I ended up taking profits at 100. We had pumped up, then we came back down, then we started to pump again. And as this pumped at 113.6, I sold out into that area. Now, I made even more had I stayed in the trade, but I made a good 1,700 on weeks and about 670 on KKEX. And so I let that roll, and then I swung trade about 38,000 into GIGGLE, and GIGGLE pumped nicely from 140 for me to like 153, and I was out. I decided not to be greedy. It went to 166. Looks like it then slumped for the rest of the day. I ended up just not looking at it after that, thank the Lord, But so this looks a lot like it did this morning. The 21 touching above the 200, the 21 touching above the 200 inside a bit of a flag. And so we're looking for this to continue to pump and go to the target there about $120,000 if it can hit the measured move. How do I get the measured move? It's just the length of the wicks. The wick at that top to that wick, like right there, slanted. Then you kind of redirect it a bit. But it does suggest you can get to $120,000 for Bitcoin. And this previous resistance could become support here at about 114,500. So I'm watching this flag for PTC, and it looks like it could pump. And that's kind of where I stand here after taking you from the weekly all the way back down into the 5-minute time frame. And again, maybe we just dump. It is Sunday night, heavily volatile. We could just come down and dump out of nowhere and crush all the longs. I could see it happen. Anything could happen. So be careful. Sunday night is a treacherous night to trade. I only risk what I'm willing to lose here. So be very careful on a Sunday night. Just have to, But the flag looks interesting. And it's showing signs of life. And I like what I'm seeing here. I like how the 15's above the 200 with the 21 touch. That is basically the same signal we saw earlier today on the 5-minute time frame, showing itself now on the 15-minute. Hey, Mr. Sammy, can you check the nasty Nas? Thank you. Yes, we'll take a look. Thank you so much for that. Aster, we're looking for this to stay inside the flag on the 15 and pump. This would send Aster back to 191. A bit of gains there. What's the difference between trading and investing? What's the difference between lever trading and spot trading? Do you believe lever trading is wrecking the market? I don't think anything's wrecking anything. I'm positive about everything all the time. Yeah. It's just life is what it is. The NASDAQ went down the same way. Is the NASDAQ getting wrecked by Lev? It's been the same way for years. So remember, I said there would be a dip. I said to buy, number one, there's the daily that I'm in. Here's the daily trade, right, that we put out. That's still bullish, in my opinion. Came down halfway, but fighting, And then we talked about this just bouncing. And I showed you, I see this bouncing, making a flag and continue. They're going to print this money to zero. It's got to go into the stock market. No place for it to go. So they just opened a hole for the liquidity to enter. It did. And it patched the hole right back up. I see the NASDAQ bouncing, making a flag and continuing to the target at 26,920, and I'm not budging. Yeah. Pretty simple. And you pull a fib, we wicked basically to the 618. If you go from this area, but pretty damn close. Off the 0.5 fib. So there you go. Leverage is wrecking the people, not the mark. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. 100%. And that's kind of what I've been looking at. $115,000 for Bitcoin. Can we hold this key level? It looks like we may slump. And I got my stop loss way above, I'll even move it right there into profit. And that's just the kicker I left for the rest of the day after making the bigger gains. So let's take a look at what's hot and what's not. I mean, Sol pumped back to the upside, right? BNB pumped back to the upside. Market looks healthy and ready to rock as far as I'm concerned. The only thing are the people that so many people got wrecked. Look at that, almost all the way back to its all-time high again. Wow, that is crazy. I would expect some type of pullback, at least. Maybe not amazing, but something. Possibly a little bit of move here back down to the target. And I just see it continuing. I don't see how it stops at this point. Imagine getting in at 870 and it's now $1,300. Insane. But I'd look for consolidation before that thing takes off. BNB for gains. Win, baby. James Win. James Win went on a crazy rant. Cool dude. I talked to him. We had a cool spaces together when I was on the plane. I couldn't sleep. I'm on the plane. I see his spaces. I click on it. It's James Win. Next thing you know, they let me talk. There's like 600-700 people in there. I've been gaining steam on Twitter ever since, too. So shout out to that. I appreciate that. And, yeah, man, he was cool. I heard he went on some crazy funny rant, whatever. Nobody's perfect. But I bet I heard pieces of it. It was hilarious. But shout out to James. And, people have opinions on everybody in the space, including me. And people will continue to do so. Remember that. Whatever you think things are, they are, because that's what you think they are, right? I couldn't convince you otherwise. So BNB, that thing looks like it could even just continue to take off from where it's at, honestly, the way it's looking. But I'd like it to consolidate a little bit first before a bigger pump. And when BNB pumps, Cake pumps, I could see Cake. What if Cake heads back to like $20? So Cake had originally pumped all the way back to $450, which was kind of crazy. Cake was on a tear before all this went on. And, just Cake is part of a bigger ecosystem, the Pancake Swap. And it's been around a long time. And so, yeah. And it bottomed at a pretty good place comparatively to most. I guess you could say it's like inside of this flag. Cake, been around for so long. Price looks insane on the 3-day chart. Well, the 1 hour, I'd look for it to make a flag. And I wouldn't be surprised if this flag continues to rip. Something like this. With BNB and, Aster, the whole gang. Pumps together. All right. All the coins in Chuck Liquidity are now paying for their, maybe. How to double, triple, dirty here right now. Need money fast. I would never tell you what to do. Needing money fast is never a good look. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. One step at a time. And again, I'm not a financial advisor. You do whatever makes you happy with your money. And so we looked at the NAS by A Supersonic. God bless you. Thank you for doing that. And shout out to everybody here on the live. We appreciate you. So we gave a beautiful trade earlier today on the live stream. And if you came back for more, we are continuing to pump it up. And we could show you the gains we made today if you had been on the live or in the trading group. It just is what it is. I'm sorry to brag, but it is what it is. And then I also swung trade Giggle, which I looked for Giggle. I wanted Giggle to go way further. I thought I was going to come back and regret selling Giggle. So I got in here 140, and it ripped just to 153, 160 or something. I got out of 153, just made a quick 10%, you know. And there you have it. But look, if you look at Giggle, it's like the hottest thing right now. And I wouldn't be surprised if it goes for more here. And if Bitcoin can hold its own tonight, maybe Giggle makes a right shoulder and dumps, but it could also go tight in here. And if BNB likes to pump Cake, Giggle, Cake will pump. It's like Giggle, Cake, BNB, Aster will all pump together. It's the BNB gang, right? And they'll all pump amazingly well. So Giggle's on my radar still. I wouldn't count out Giggle. I like that stop loss for me personally below 113. You've got to figure it out for yourself. And it's still higher than the 140 entry I had earlier today. So Giggle might not be something to giggle about tomorrow. We'll see. Again, it could go to zero. You never know. Do your own research. But I like Giggle. And, you know, it's like an educational fund, right? For kids. A free school. If you research what they're doing, it's pretty cool. Very interesting. And what else was I looking at earlier today? Oh, yeah, Zcash just continued to rip out of nowhere. It's just crazy. And now it's in consolidative mode. And again, I just got the Twisted Sister going. It'd be nice if it just went sideways over time, made that flag and got itself busy. But it could also come further down now after such a nice, beautiful pump. Only time will tell. We'll set the bait, set the trap, and take whichever the market gives us. And that's what I love about the Twisted Sister. You don't have to be preemptive. You just let the charts tell you what to do. Massive gains for the Lord on my side is not me. It's not me, love. Massive gains for the Lord, my side. It's not me. Hey, well, God bless you, Renee. You're smart in this crypto. Do you share trades on Discord? I do share all my trades. I just share everything I do on Discord. Yeah, all my thoughts, my ideas, what I'm searching for, what I'm looking at. Okay. Exactly. Yeah, Chain Opera AI. Oh my gosh, that thing. Wow. How did it go to 47? How is that possible? Just so crazy, right? We were looking at it down here. I had it out here. Look, it hit my target, Chain Opera. I looked at it at $3.48. It's at $10. And it says it went all the way up here to like 47. This is crazy. That's just absurd. Realistically, at least to 23, and that's just insane. Still holding a 10x after a massive dump in the last 2 hours. COAI just absolutely destroying the game. That's insanity. And I'd found it, looked at it, token metrics, man. Always feeding us the sauce, baby. And Bitcoin losing 115,000. Struggling here at this flag. And again, it could dump. You never know. No guarantees. Just because it's in a flag doesn't mean it pumps. Especially on a Sunday night, I would advise it. I would expect it to act a little funky. Dip down here, dip back up, or dip up, dip down. Just do some weird, strange stuff. It's Sunday night. If it made a perfect flag and pumped, I would be surprised. But hey, you never know. That could happen. Anything's possible. I just play the odds and we go from there. Someone said, yeah, I've been joining your group for over a week and have sent multiple emails. Your team asked me to send the transaction receipt, which I did. I just, that never happens, man, to anybody, so it just doesn't make any sense. But just, I'll ask my wife yet again. Maybe it's going to spam. CryptoLifers@gmail. You guys, some people email CryptoLifer. It's CryptoLifers@gmail. Have a lot of folks experience their stops not being executed automatically when they do have it. No. I've seen it. I don't know. It happened to thousands. A bunch of exchanges claimed. I don't know if you could single one out. But it never happened to me. So I don't know. I can't talk on other people. And I would say, hey, it did happen to me. If it did, I would strike me. I'm not lying. Yo, the Bucks are amazing. Ripfield did, Mayfield, that was such a throw. Such a nice throw. 100%. Spot on. So we're watching Bitcoin in this flag. It breaks out. A lot of altcoins break out and follow suit and continue to pump. We're talking Sol continues to pump. AVAX gets back in line. Everything kind of starts to move. And you want to watch this flag here on almost everything. The 15-minute above the 200 moving average. Let that thing get busy, nice and tight and right, and not have Bitcoin ruin the show. And I mean, everything's pumping. This gets back to 216. We're back above 200. It's business as usual. And we can kind of get back on track here. So this is kind of Solana and Bitcoin have kind of going to watch the show, right? And that's what's going to say what's going on. There's no case because the market is moving so fast. Stop losses can be blown through without triggering. Anything can happen. Weeks worked fine. Exactly. Weeks worked beautiful. No issues on weeks. Like, I don't, Sam's the man with the plan. Shout out to Ali. I love you. Thank you for saying that. May God bless you. Yeah, so I wouldn't overtrade. I wouldn't go too crazy. And look, I mean, Mantle up 34%. SPX up 23. Tau up 29. Buying the dip paid. Whoever bought the dip got paid. Pay attention. All right. SCI, Ondo, and I didn't, or just whoever didn't panic sell too. Got the bounce back in the market. Was able to feel that bounce. So, and that's the thing about crypto, man. Never panic selling. No crazy moves. Just because something is crazily, up and down, no crazy moves. We keep it focused and just keep it moving. While everyone else is bugging out, we stay level-headed. Remember, we can see what the NASDAQ is doing. Before it did it, we already said it was going to bounce. Yeah. Poor little ship can't find the love it anymore. The dip has been amazing. Now we can make some cash again. Hey, I love it. Someone says, I just used Wix. Wix using Sam's link, and Wix is so smooth. It's been a really good app with amazing support. Thank you for saying that. New to the channel, super brief. Clash TA would be greatly approved. Let's take a look at Clash for you, buddy. Wonder if it dumped with the dip or did it hold its own there. Just stayed nice and sideways. Not too bad. Could be better, could be worse, but it's doing its thing. And that's consolidation. And it dipped like it's, nice little 618 dip too. We pull a fib, it dipped right down to the 618. Look at the 786 bounce. Could show signs of life further to the upside. I don't own any. Does it matter to me? Target would be somewhere at 17 cents. But it also could just dump. I don't know. I'm not into it. So, I like your sport code. Cryptomaniac 1776 says, thank you for saying that. May God bless you. Okay. So I am just, don't want to over trade you over here and force anything crazy. I would watch this flag tonight and be careful. All right. We could easily get taken down. So I keep these cooking, but my stop loss is protecting myself into position. And I'd watch Solana too. I'd want to see this go sideways. The odds are in our favor. We're going to pump. Things are looking great, but let's be careful. It is Sunday night. It only makes sense if it a dump. President who comes out and crashes the market so he can buy the dip coin, man. Hey, I don't know. What's up, Sam? Hope you're having a great day, brother. Much love. Shout out to you, Rudy. Thank you for being here. God bless you. Soon, baby. Soon's on like OX. Soon has been hot. And Soon was a big pumper, too. I mean, look at that. You're right. Like, Soon didn't care about the dip at all. Like, stayed in the same flag it was in originally. So, I mean, you're spot on. Looks like Soon could continue to go up pretty soon. I mean, if anything's going to pump, this showed strength in a dip like that, and it had already been ripping. Soon, baby, soon. I'd be watching soon, and the target for soon is 137. That's a nice little move there for soon. Again, I don't own any soon. It doesn't matter to me. It just, I like what, I'm just going over technical analysis here. I'm a TA nerd. 51% gains out of soon. I definitely put soon on your watch list and be paying attention. And after a big dip like this, it takes me a couple days to kind of like saddle back into going too crazy. But after a dip like that and making $6,000 on a Sunday, it's been I think it's been a crazy ride, right? So, everybody, I got to jump on out of here for tonight. Just got something I got to take care of that I know we don't have to. But I love you. I appreciate you. And I'll be back tomorrow morning for my regular scheduled program. And we'll battle Monday like we do and go after the charts. I love you. I appreciate you. I'll be back tomorrow. May God bless you, and I'll see you on the flip side. Have a wonderful night, a wonderful day, and thank you for everything. God bless you all.